Good people. Little technical difficulty starting here, but that's okay. We're not going to let it derail what we're doing. You are here for another edition, Monarchs of Wrestling. At the present time, your boy Cool McCain is what we call solo dolo, but that's not going to last, right? That is not going to last. So while I'm talking here, I'm trying to make a little switch here. The video and the audio ain't really catching up right, so we're going to fix that real quick. And then we're going to bring the video back here and give us what we really need video-wise. Yeah, a little on-time troubleshooting live. But while we're doing that, what we can be talking about is what's happening right now. And you know what that is? Wrestling with your Monarchs. And again, I am Cool McCain. I am one half of your monarchy. I will be joined shortly by the other half, gentleman, what you might know, named the Playmaker. He'll be in the building. Not here yet, but he'll be in the building. Like I said, it's been a little tricky going things today versus other days, but I think I got everything good to go. So, again, welcome to the Monarchs of Wrestling. If you're watching on Real Wise Radio, on Real Wise Radio, shout out to you. You listen on 502 Angel Radio, shout out to you as well. This is a place where we talk TNA, AEW, and WWE. And with that in mind, we're going to start off by sliding on over to total nonstop action. And we're going to talk about the action that happened. So, first match, we had a 5-way match with the winner getting an X Division title shot against Moose at Final Resolution. Your competitors, Leon Slater, Trent Seven, Ace Austin, JDC, and Kushida. All right, so in this match, Kushida was able to capitalize. So Kushida was the one that won this match. He pinned Leon Slater. So that'll be an interesting match. Tasha Steelz got interviewed next ahead of her match against Jordan Grace. She wants to beat her to set her sights on the Knockouts World Championship. So there's that. All right. Sami Callihan and PCO, who is the Digital Media and International Heavyweight Championship. And I got to say something before I go any further about that. You've got to find a way to get the International Championship off of him. I don't mind if he's the Digital Media Champion. But let's take the International Heavyweight Championship and let's make it mean something, TNA. And the first thing you got to do that is get it away from the Digital Media Championship and start having it contested by, quality individuals and set it up as another division of championship that's a stepping stone towards being world champion, right? At least a belt that's on par or above the X Division Championship. So, get on that, TNA. Get on that. But they ended up fighting the Good Hands. They had an altercation doing Thanksgiving poker, and that caused them to unite. And of course, John Scholar and Jason Hotcher are the Good Hands, basically lackeys for the bad version of our favorite Canadian wrestler on TNA. Lost the match because you had a double champion and Sami Callihan on the other end, which is interesting, but that's the way that they decided to go. And if you're wondering who I'm talking about, it is Josh Alexander. After the match, the number 23 just kind of appeared on the screen. It was like 25, 24, and 23. and it stopped there. So there's been some talk about this Baron Corbin because B and C equals 2 and 3, 23. We'll see if that's where they're going, or if they're going a different direction. But definitely, I think they'll pay it off with something. You know, they're not the company that would start something like that and then just not do anything with it. There's a company that would do that. And if you're wondering who I'm discussing or talking about, we'll get to them next. That's all I'm going to say. All right. We're going to hear from Nick Namath later in the show. AJ Francis wants a shot at Nick Namath, who accepts his challenge. So at Final Resolution, we're going to get AJ Francis versus Nick Namath. We're just going to go past that. Like, I'm not even... AJ Francis gets a TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. He definitely, in my opinion, is not going to win that match. Then we have a TNA World Tag Team Championship match. Jeff and Matt Hardy, the Hardys, versus the System, which consists of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. Alicia Edwards is out there with them. This is a World Tag Team Championship match, of course. And the System lost. But they did they lost by disqualification, and they continued to beat them down and throw them through a table after the match. They pretty much just demolished the Hardys. So sending a message sometimes is important. And the System's been on a little bit of a slump lately, except for Moose winning the secondary championship and not the big one. But that's a different story for another day. All right. So there's that. Then we move on. We have the Knockout Tag Team Champion Spitfire, which is Jody Threat and Danny Luda. Danny Luda is going to go one-on-one with Heather by Elegance next week. So that's sort of interesting. The System is going to get a tables match against the Hardys at Final Resolution. Pretty predictable, but we'll roll with it. Now, if they did a TLC, maybe a little bit different, but just a tables match. But okay, it is what it is. Sammy Callahan believes that Hammerstone and Jake Something are behind the 23. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but he'll fight him because that's what Hammerstone does. He fights. All right. Then we have Jordan Grace and Tasha Steelz, who does have some mini cakes, and Jordan Grace truly has cakes. So it's a caked up match. And due to a distraction from Alicia Edwards, Steelz actually gets the pin with her feet on the rope on Jordan Grace. So she beats Jordan Grace. Steelz and Alicia continue to beat on Grace until Masha Slamovich does enter. That kind of evens the odds. And you know what happens when the odds get even, people start to get away. And as far as a episode of TNA goes, I mean, there are some interesting things that happen here, but let's just get to the main event match. So the main event match was an 8-man tag team match. It has the Northern Armory and Frankie Kazarian against Mike Santana, Steve Macklin, Eric Young, and Jonathan Gresham. What's crazy is 1 week Jonathan Gresham is an octopus spitting black ink out of his mouth, and the next week he's a good guy. Then we don't see him for a few weeks, and then it's just whatever they want him to be. So the Northern Armory, which is Josh Alexander, Judas Zacharias, and Travis Williams, of course, with Frankie Kazarian, beat Macklin, Young, Gresham, and Mike Santana. It makes sense because the Northern Armory is kind of already a team, and then you add to them Frankie Kazarian against 4 individuals. Kazarian got a sneaky win, of course. That's Frankie Kazarian. Match ends. Show goes off the air. And that, my good people, is your TNA wrestling review for the week. Couple of comments here before we take our first break. Damien says, AJ Francis is more annoying now than when he was with Hit Row. That's fact. That's facts. And B-Fab is way better now than when she was with Hit Row. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, yo. What's up, Daniel Berry? Appreciate the support, man. Always, always. So, with that being said, it's now time. It's time. It's commercial time. Let us begin.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast.
That didn't go quite as it was supposed to, so
Hey,
start that over.
Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live. Every Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to a return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sotoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
All right, good people.
Hello.
We're back. We've got the Playmaker here, and it's time to get into AEW. All right? Time to get into some AEW.
You don't sound
Dynamite.
too enthused.
Sorry, sir?
You don't sound too enthused about AEW.
No comment. So
I had people post that AEW actually better this week. Well, last week, should I say.
well, let's think about what they're saying. You watched last week's show, did you not? If this week's show wasn't better than last week's show, then AEW will lose fans next week. That's all I'm gonna say. Can't give shows like last week multiple weeks in a row.
All right.
So we're gonna start off. We're gonna go through.
They backed us up to a corner with this opening match, though. I will say that.
Didn't hear you. What'd you say there, sir?
I said they did back themselves into a corner. Like, why is Shelton Benjamin a part of the Continental Classic? Man just got there.
Because he's supposed to be a big deal because he's part of the Hurt Syndicate.
And
this is a belt up for the taking. They're going to be adding someone else that's going to be contending for other belts. The goal is they want championships. So this is an easy way to.
You put him in the first match. He going against Kyle Fletcher.
Second match. He already won last week.
Second. Kyle Fletcher, man. Come on, man. Y'all.
I mean, we know who's winning the match, but they're telling a story with this. So we'll get into that. All right. Continental Classic, Blue League. First match of the evening. Shelton Benjamin versus Kyle Fletcher. They did a hype video before, so that's a little change. Then Chris Jericho coming out or somebody else coming out, so that's a good thing. Not necessarily a horrible match. Kyle Fletcher did a little dirty thing, used the ropes to get leverage. Lost the match. Lost the points. But the crowd feels bad for Benjamin because of how he lost. And then Fletcher beat the Bruff. So you know he's not going to lose a couple of matches after beating the Bruff. But that's okay because you can lose a match in the Continental Classic and still win. I do believe Shelton Benjamin has to be an odds-on favorite just because of experience and how he was been hyped that he'll have a great opportunity. If he doesn't win, he'll at least be in the finals. Shelton Benjamin's almost 50. Fletcher's 25. Benjamin looks really well in whatever match you put him in. He's another guy. You can probably put him in a match against a roll of toilet tissue and a broomstick, and he'll get him over. He's just really good. Kyle Fletcher won the match. It makes sense storyline-wise for that to happen. So next we have the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. Before we get to that, Hook came out, called out Nick Wayne and the Patriarchy, of course. Christian Cage and Shayna arrived. Nick and Kit Sabian, of course, jumped Hook. Hook got his hand smashed. He got a hand concerto. One-man hand concerto, which is it doesn't do that much damage to just put somebody's hand between two chairs and hit it. That's a lot more to put their head or their leg, but not their hand. But we'll see where they go with that. Mercedes Moné did an interview with Renee Paquette. Nothing of value was said. MVP ripped into Shelton Benjamin for losing. Benjamin got angry. He attacked a worker. Then Benjamin, Lashley, and MVP all left 4 people hurt and beat up in the back, which is what the Hurt Syndicate should do, hurt people. They were mad because he didn't hurt Kyle Fletcher. Not necessarily they lost the match, but more so that he didn't hurt him and he didn't win the match. But most of the time, if you hurt the guy, you're probably going to beat him. So it does line up. We had the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. Adam Cole, Kyle Riley were in the match, of course. Evil Uno was eliminated by Mark Davis. Leo Rush and Action Andretti eliminated Top Flight. Lance Archer and Brian Cage eliminated a couple of people. It did come down to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in the final four. They both threw two people over the ring and ended up being the final two to face each other at World's End to see who gets to take on MJF. I feel like the Battle Royal would have made more sense if you just had one winner. This whole thing about you got to do a Battle Royal to determine the final two, and then they have to fight, and the winner has to fight MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. We could have just had the Battle Royal have a winner, and they face MJF. Just saying. But Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly both won. C+, in my opinion. I don't normally give grades, but actually I would just give it a flat out C. I wouldn't even give it a C+. Just a C match.
Did I not say this last week? We was going to get Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly fight because they both on MJ. It wasn't the way that I thought it was going to go, but didn't I not say this last week? Do I need
that was
to
the most logical and unshocking thing that happened at all in Dynamite.
I literally said, "Oh my gosh, do I need to write for AEW?"
If you do work for them, improve the storylines, please. All right, then we had Swerve Strickland. I mean, it was the most obvious outcome.
It was a stupid way to get there, but
always a stupid way to get there. That's AEW. Swerve Strickland versus Max Caster. Max Caster calls himself the best wrestler in the world.
Since when?
The best wrestler alive.
Since when?
He pinned Swerve Strickland in a tag team match some months back, and since then, well, in a multi-man match, and since then he's been running around calling himself the best wrestler alive.
That might explain why Swerve did what he did.
So Caster came out, he did his little pre-match rap, and then Swerve Strickland began to beat his natural yellow YASS. Yes.
Let me take it back.
He rolled him in the ring.
Pots.
Yes, hind pots. Back quarter, cheeks, whatever you want to say. Rolled him in the ring to get the match started, took it back outside. Caster took control for a moment. He got a house call for his trouble. He got two more house calls, and then Caster got pinned. And then the crowd wanted it in the Swerve Stomp. Max Caster and Swerve Strickland obliged.
You still think you're the best wrestler alive, Matt Caster?
I mean, of course he does. Why wouldn't he? If you're delusional before you lose, you're gonna be delusional after you lose. Then we have Pac, the bastard Pac, versus Jay White.
I know this didn't end well.
Before the match happened, MJ had a video package where he promised to retain his ring. Of course, he mocked Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. What a shot. Willa Yuta was there with Pac, but no one else. I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase this to make it as simple as possible. They fought like two guys that don't like each other.
Let's just say we did get a finish in this match.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people involved too.
Was bleeding from the mouth. He got locked in the brutalizer in the standing position, but he managed to reach the ropes. Marina Shafir showed up. and was a distraction. Adam Page came out and looked like he was going to fight Moxley after Moxley got involved. But then Orange Cassidy came out and went after Moxley with an extension cord. Then Jay White, Heyman, Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy took out the Death Riders to end the segment. Pac got the win via DQ.
White? I thought White got the win.
Excuse me. I said Pac. I meant to say White got the win via DQ. Juice Robinson is hurt again. Juice Robinson is probably the most entertaining part of the Bullet Club Gold, and now it's just one person again, because I think the Gun Boys, best way I can say it, are hurt again. At least one of them. Christian was out there lurking with his contract. We know that it's kind of silly, but he was. All right, we had a match between actually some really good cakeage here. Anna Jay and Penelope Ford. I was not upset.
When are you ever upset?
When it comes to cakes and cakeage, never upset.
Exactly.
Cakeage is the lifeblood of professional wrestling. And if you don't agree with me, argue with your mama or your auntie. Don't argue with me. Jamie Hayter gave a little promo to Julia Hart. Then we got Anna Jay and Penelope Ford. They have a long-standing feud. Penelope Ford is up 2-0 in singles matches over Anna Jay. So, of course, make a long story short, Anna Jay, of course, won. Anna Jay then called out Mercedes Moné. She came out. They almost got in a fight, but Moe cowered away and left. So Anna Jay beat Penelope Ford for the first time in a singles match. She's now down 1-2. And she called out Mercedes Moné, who no longer has Camilla as backup. Interesting. All right, then we had a Continental Classic Gold League match between Brody King and Claudio Castagnoli. Castagnoli beat Brody King. Castagnoli is up 6-0 in the Gold League. He's up top. That's the most I'm going to say. That's pretty much that. So that was your main event. I didn't tell you it was a main event beforehand because it didn't feel like a main event. But that was your card for AEW Dynamite. Mr. Playmaker. Any thoughts?
Nope. Yeah.
All right, the Continental Classic is ongoing. I would update you as to what's happened on Rampage and Collision, but truthfully, it's not worth it. You'll hear about it 10 times on Dynamite on Wednesday. So there you go. AEW, while better than last week, something has to be done. Something has to be done. We're going to go to our comment section with the fam real quick, and then we'll hit a commercial break. BS3 Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. He starts out by saying AEW are doing that bull spit Death Riders angle. Then Mr. Nose Candy is still screwing up. They are still doing it, and Mr. Nose Candy will always have his what'd you call it? Cyclones or tornado cyclone? I believe that's what you called it last week. I'll go with that. It just continues to upgrade.
Last week, I was going off.
Yeah, it has to upgrade because you can't keep doing the same thing. You need more substance. So you have to do something different to get more of the substance. Because after a while, you start building up a tolerance. So we'll say that that's what happened. Cole also says, good evening, Monarchs. Good evening to you, Mr. Johnson. As always, a pleasure to have you and Damien, who does definitely have something to say, as always. He says Ray should be in this tournament since TK want to hold him hostage. Well, here's the thing. He's not holding him hostage. He's saying you're always hurt. You got paid for this time. You didn't work. Damien, if your job, if you're supposed to work and you get paid and you don't work, are they going to want you to work those hours? Mine does. So I don't have a problem with that. That's about the most logical thing that the purveyor of nose powder has done lately. All right. Cole says, put Shelton Benjamin in a match with Tony Khan's pile of cocaine.
You open that door, sir. You open that door.
Cole says, do you need to write for AEW Playmaker? Yes. Is his answer.
I'm pretty sure because I probably can write a better way to get to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly fighting each other instead of a battle war.
I would like to write for the women's division. Right.
Can we tag team that? There's enough picks for you and me.
Yes,
okay?
we can. We're on live. I had to swallow 7 comments in 3 seconds. We are live. Yes, we can, sir. Miss Yolanda Williams is in the building. Miss Williams, we'd love to have you back on. Hey, you've been here. Good. You know, it's always an invitation for you to hop back on here and discuss some wrestling with us. Okay. All right, Damien says, why would you want to extend him if he is not working? Then why not just let him go?
Because he's gonna make his way right to the other 3-letter company.
Well, let me explain to you. Let me explain this to you. You know the guy wants to leave his contract's over. That's fine, but you're a quote unquote independent contractor, meaning you agree to work for a certain amount of time. In that contract, it says if you are out due to injury, they can tack those months onto the end of your contract because you agreed to work for a certain amount of time, but you weren't working. So again, Damien, you act as if they're not being paid and they're free workers and it's just, hey, well, you just keep it. No, he's been paid, but he didn't show up. He agreed to the amount of time to work and he didn't work the amount of time because it's hurt. They do this in WWE all the time. This is done in every wrestling company. This is standard practices for the professional wrestling business, sir. That's what it is. It's not something someone made up. It's not a TK thing. Yolanda says, will do. Fair enough. So we are going to take our second commercial break. And David's going to talk about how it's not fair.
Your camera is starting to freeze you in and out.
Yeah, so we're going to take a commercial break. And Damien's going to go in here and talk about how it's unfair in his next comment that people can't just be let go when they sign contracts. But sign contracts, so sign a contract.
I don't care about all that. We got more important things to
Let's go.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
All right. Playmaker?
Damien, who told you to be a fan of the Chicago Bears?
Pretty much. Shout out to Real Wise Radio. We live on there. Shout out to 502 Angel Radio. You can also catch us. You're listening anywhere besides on youtube.com/at Eagles Elite Podcast. How about you go take care of that? Excuse me, not at Eagles Elite Podcast. That's Wednesday at Real Play Callers. But you can do Eagles Elite Podcast too if you want. You know what I'm saying? It's not a problem for me.
All right, sir. Well, you want to start it? I'm gonna let you pick where we start at.
All right, let's start at Saturday night's main event.
You want to start with the pick? So far, it's only three matches on the card. Most likely they're gonna add more. Make
it fast.
Special event. They didn't say PLE, so we're gonna call it a special event. Only 3 cards on the card thus far. Io Sky would get her title match against Liv Morgan at Saturday's main event. Where you at, sir?
Liv Morgan's not losing to Io Sky.
Exactly. This was probably announced sometime last week, but not on the show. Gunther will be defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor.
Gunther.
And then what will be the main event of Saturday night's main event? Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens loses again.
All right. Like I said, those are on the 3 cards. That's official. Shout out to Adam Pearce as of right now. Could be more. Could I see them having the United States finals on Saturday? Not. Knowing them, they probably could, even though the semifinals is Friday. But we'll see. And those of you who know, this Saturday, December 14th, 8 p.m., NBC/Peacock, okay? So you can't miss it. All right. Ooh, Damien.
Well, let's do it. Damien says, unfortunately, Liv retains.
That's interesting there.
Picks
That's what
Gunther.
happened last week.
And then he says, KO wins with the return of a heel Orton.
He shot you with that one, didn't he?
Nope.
Yeah,
he did not.
That is Saturday main event. Let's head down to Monday Night Raw. CM Punk up on Monday Night Raw, freshly off a successful defense war games with the OG bloodline. He comes out and says he pretty much is looking forward to the WrestleMania to get the gist of the promo. He's going to WrestleMania. Somehow he's going to make it to WrestleMania. That's CM Punk. Seth Rollins comes out. I should have knocked you out when I had the chance, but I let you slide, and I did all this other stuff. Punk said what he said. He hasn't been thinking about Seth Rollins, and why would you? So they self-surge him. They get to the fisticuffs. Sammy and Jey Uso breaks it up. Seth Rollins took a shot at Jey for whatever reason, but took a shot at Jey. Sammy didn't like it. And them two had a war word, sir. How did you feel about the war words between Sammy and Seth Rollins?
I don't feel like Seth had it anywhere near his best promo in that one. I feel like Sammy really ate him in that one. Sammy really said, like, yo, it's your fault too. Like, you turned on him back in the day and caused this. So, and I don't really feel like Seth overcame that with what he said. But the promo did do what it was supposed to do. But to me, Sammy ate Seth up on that one, and I don't really say that often. And I think we're getting a Seth heel turn as we speak.
Everybody, people are mad at Seth is mad at them two for teaming with Punk. And let's be honest, Sammy told the truth. We came to you and you denied us twice. That's your fault. The wise man came through. He gave us CM Punk. We went from the turn down to help. Guess what? We won. What more do you want? But more on the heel turn, because that is the word of the week when it comes to AEW. Heel turn. That's out of a mess for the main event. We'll get to that. Liv Morgan, Raquel defeated Damage Control. After the match, they wanted to beat up Damage Control. Mommy comes out, fights back. Raquel goes for the audible injury, the Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley gets a match with Raquel Rodriguez tonight. Anything?
Should be a good hard-hitting match. If Rhea don't get no help, she's gonna be in trouble with this for a long time. But should be a good hard-hitting match, and then Liv's gonna get involved.
Your girl, Dakota Kai, advances in the Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Coco!
I know you're happy about that.
Yeah.
Defeating Katana Chance and Shayna Baszler to win her triple threat match. Gunther, after stop playing around with Dominic Mysterio, finally put the end to him. Finn Balor attacks Gunther after the match. That's how we got to this title mess that's happening at Saturday night's main event. But question: is there a leader in the Judgment Day?
Is there a what?
Is there a leader in the Judgment Day?
There has been since Damian Priest left.
Have you not been paying attention to what Finn Balor has been saying?
Listen to me.
Finn Balor
On
is
the
trying to be
surface,
the
we're
leader.
just saying there's no leader, but then he's doing everything a leader would do.
Exactly.
Which is the same thing Damian Priest was doing, ironically. But the difference is Damian Priest said, "I'm the leader." Finn
Hey,
does everything to say he's the leader.
he was
won't
the
say
world
the word.
champion too, so you couldn't even say that to him. He was the world champion. He held it. He held the top belt on Raw.
Finn felt that should be his belt, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. R-Truth beat Pete Dunne. When I thought about you when it happened, I said R-Truth actually beat Dunne. Cool gonna hate this. Cool is hating this right now.
I ain't even hate it. I didn't even hate it. I thought it was silly, but I ain't even hate it.
You ain't hate it.
The quick roll up.
I couldn't help but laugh. Like, really, R-Truth. Wow.
It was funny. It fit what they do with R-Truth.
Now, before we get to the main event, let's get to the part that I skipped. And it's one of the most talking points before the main event happened. 10th anniversary of the New Day. Celebrating 10 years of the New Day being together. The championships, the tag team championships, the WWE championships, the King of the Ring title, Money in the Bank, all this stuff, the Bootios, the unicorns, all this great stuff. And it sounded like Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston had agreed to part ways. And then Big E shows up. Big E shows up doing the passionate promo. The promo where everybody listening to it felt it. It's like, yes, Big E. Talk to him. Talk some sense into him. And then it went down here from there. I'm going to give the floor to you, sir.
So, best promo that we've gotten ever from Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Kudos to you.
A very harsh promo at that.
So here's the thing. Kofi and Xavier as faces sucks. Let's be 100% real. It sucks cheeks. It is garbage. They're going to continue to lose because they're good guys and they won't do what it takes to win. Right? They started off as heels. They went face for a long time, so everybody forgot they were heels. They're back to their roots. They told Big E, you could have came back to be our manager, but you off with your girlfriend and doing pre-games and pre-PLE, post-PLE stuff instead of supporting your boys. Seeing we've been having some trouble, and now here you come. Now you want to manage us until you're cleared, if you're ever cleared.
By the way, after we said some harsh words to each other the previous week.
Yeah. Then they told him, you're never going to wrestle again. He tried to hug it out. Kofi put his hand in his chest, said no. He walked out crying, and thus ends the New Day as we previously knew them. I'm going to be honest. I loved it. We need a more serious Kofi and Xavier Woods. I loved it. We need them to be willing to take what's theirs. This is how you start that. Now you got to come out and win some matches. But I love the promo. I love Big E trying to come out and save him and everything. I love what they did to him. And they're going to pay for that when he does return. They're going to pay for that. But now he's officially not a part of the New Day or whatever they're going to be moving forward. And that's going to allow him an opportunity to be a singles wrestler when he returns after he beats them both down for what they did. So waiting for that, but excited with this heel duo. Probably going to be a new trio because now that they're heels, there's a guy that's probably going to be moving up soon in this. We'll get to that later, but in what's happening that we didn't find out about until SmackDown, we could have found out on Raw. Could be interesting, but I love it. This was great mic work. This is what we like WWE for.
Yeah. And then as we get ready for the main event, Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn, we heard noises happening in the backstage, and all of a sudden, BSC Jey Uso is down. Who attacked Jey Uso before the match? Sami Zayn comes out. Adam Pearce. Who did it? What's going on? Adam Pearce, the whole. I don't know. I didn't see it was happening. We'll figure it out. I got to figure who it is, and I'm about to go whoop his. You know what? He was talking about Seth Rollins. They get in the battle. They fighting. They doing their whole thing. Good match. Sammy went a little heelish, grabbing the steel chair. I don't know what made him grab the steel chair, but he grabbed the steel chair. Because there's nothing Seth did for him to grab the steel chair. He grabbed it on his own, got in the ring. Seth talked some sense into him, like, what are you doing? Like, no, I didn't attack
He did
Jay.
it because he felt like, he was mad because he attacked Jay.
Like, what are you doing? Puts the chair down. Speaking of roll up for a victory. Seth Rollins gets the roll up
of the night.
Gets a roll up for a victory. Looks at Sammy, he says, I love your heart, but you gotta use your head. Walks off. All we see is Sammy looking back at Seth because Sammy knew he screwed up. You went too far. You lost the match. And before you knew it, a Claymore comes. Drew McIntyre has returned. Was Drew McIntyre the one that attacked Jey Uso? I believe so.
Could be.
I believe it was Drew McIntyre because it makes sense with the storyline. It makes perfectly sense. We have 3 people on 2 shows are mad at 1 War Games, and that all involved the OG bloodline. That's CM Punk. Triple H is cooking up something. I don't know how you feel if you want to speak on it, but Triple H is cooking up something with Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. I'm not saying they together, but he's cooking up something with these 3 superstars.
Well, there's a certain group that one of them was a part of that was a 3-man wrecking crew. And they call themselves
the guy that created the monster. Somebody, the guy that created the monster that's over on SmackDown.
They call themselves the Hounds of Justice. And I'm going to leave it there. Smell what I'm cooking. It's very savory.
So that was how Raw went out there. Drew McIntyre is back. And he's coming after the bloodline because of CM Punk.
And he couldn't have came after the bloodline because of CM Punk the night before at the Premium Live event. Of course.
Kevin Owens going after Cody Rhodes because he teamed with Roman Reigns.
The bloodline.
Seth Rollins is mad at CM. Seth Rollins is mad because CM Punk teamed with the bloodline at War Games.
His own fault, but yes.
Everything is tying together here. And he's connecting 2 shows to one big storyline. Triple H, you doing something. It's very interesting.
And they'll probably all be on the same show soon, too.
Yep. Speaking of SmackDown, we talked about the OG bloodline, but there's another bloodline. Bloodline 2.0. And they was not happy when Apollo Crews and some security guards, they felt the wrath at the beginning of the show. Oh, and by the way, before I continue on, Tonga Loa will be out for a good period of time. Jey Uso will be out for a good period of time. And Bronson Reed will be out for a good period of time. All 3 of them got injured. Yeah, Jimmy. All 3 of them took injuries inside War Games. Most likely it'll probably be Bronson Reed probably be out the longest. Tonga Loa will be out the second longest. Bronson Reed literally shattered his ankle. Tonga Loa has a torn bicep thanks to CM Punk. Literally thanks to CM Punk in that toolbox. Jay Uso has a broken toe. I believe it's the big toe if I remember correctly. So we ain't gonna see these three gentlemen for quite some time. But they ain't stopped Bloodline 2.0 from starting the show with some chaos. Shinsuke Nakamura came out as the new United States champion. LA Knight interrupted on his rematch. This and that. Andrade came out. Pretty sure he was going to say he wanted a match for the United States Championship too. Bloodline 2.0 took all them out, and they allowed Shinsuke Nakamura to walk away unharmed. Anything you want to say anything about Bloodline 2.0? Because that was the only time we saw them for that show.
There was no other way to go with them after what you allowed to happen at the premium live event. They could have won due to shenanigans. That would have been a better route to go. But this is what they chose. So we got to see how you're going to make them credible again. There's only 3 of them now. We'll see what happens.
Street Profits got attacked backstage. Yet again, we don't know who did it. Johnny Gargano comes to Nick Aldis. Hey, DIY, we can step right in. You don't even have to worry about canceling your tag team match. We can step right in. He says, don't make me regret it. They're in a tag team match. In this tag team match, remember the thing is heel turns, ladies and gentlemen. DIY got into it. Johnny Gargano got his pushback, literally, on Tommaso Ciampa. Get out the ring. I'll do it by myself. All this good stuff. Tommaso, if you did not pay attention, you would see that it was done on purpose. Tommaso Ciampa threw the chair in the ring right at the ref's foot. If you were paying attention, he intentionally threw it at the ref's foot. To the cause of distraction, Johnny Gargano hits the low blow to Sabin. Shelly is stunned by what just happened. He eats a super kick. Johnny Gargano walked back into his corner. Tommaso Ciampa smiling with his hand out. That was easy. Taz and Tommaso Ciampa meet in the middle. 1, 2, 3. DIY are your new WWE Tag Team Champions.
I wonder who jumped the Street Profits.
Oh, we definitely. Johnny did it. And I'm gonna tell you why I know Johnny did it. Because the Street Profits wouldn't even think of Johnny Gargano to do such a thing. Tommaso Ciampa, yes. If they would have saw Tommaso Ciampa, it's on site. But Johnny pulled the trigger on the Street Profits. This led to DIY being tag team champions. So, 2 teams. Heel turns in 1 week, sir. We turning tag teams in 1 week.
Yep.
And speaking of tag teams, Bianca Belair went against Piper Niven, and of course, Chelsea Green was out there. Chelsea Green got involved 1 too many times for Bianca's liking, and Bianca did something about it. So while she tossed Chelsea Green into the ring, decided to do a KOD with Piper Niven on top of Chelsea Green. That got hurt. Now, to be fair, because I like to get on Chelsea Green, but she is willing to take all types of bumps. I have to give her that.
Thrown in trash cans. She does not care. She do it for the business, and you gotta respect that.
Gotta respect it. I gotta give her respect. Cause good gracious,
She does take some bumps, hellacious bumps.
1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair wins. We did have United States. I think we had the final United States match, and it was Naomi. Was it Naomi? No, can't remember.
It was Naomi.
Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and who's the third person? Oh, Alexa Lopez.
Right.
Thanks to Damian Priest for putting her name in chat, Candice LeRae decided to be a thorn and Naomi's side, allowing Tiffany Stratton to pick up the victory over Alexa Lopez as she moves on in the United States Championship Tournament. So this Friday you will see, I think it's Bailey versus Chelsea Green, and it's Michin versus Tiffany Stratton. Who will meet in the finals?
It should be Michin and Bailey, and Michin should win.
You saying Michin and Bailey? What if
because let's be honest, Chelsea in the finals dilutes anybody who wins against her or her winning. Bailey in the finals makes sense. Michin beating Bailey in the finals, finally getting that individual championship that they've never allowed her to get. Well, it's hard though because it's Naomi and Michin. I'm gonna still say Michin, but I feel like whoever wins the Naomi Michin match should beat
Tiffany
Bailey for
and
the
Michin.
championship.
Tiffany and Michin. Miss Money in the Bank and Michin.
That's right. That's right. Tiffany won, not Naomi. Yeah, it's got to be Michin and yeah, I was right the first time. It's got to be Michin and Bailey, and Michin wins. It's the only thing that makes sense.
What if I go Chelsea Green and Michin?
I don't care.
Yeah, that's been a little rivalry thing between them two.
Right,
you
but
know how
it
it
doesn't give you your
You
first
saying-
champion.
You saying put the names in the final so the title can.
You got to put Bailey in the finals. You've got to put Bailey in the finals because Bailey needs to lose, but Bailey can take a loss and it doesn't matter. Especially if she beats Chelsea and then Chelsea, come out and do something to cost her and help Michin. Not necessarily help Michin, but just to screw her because she beat Chelsea. Whatever way you want to go, Michin has never had a individual championship on the main roster. So giving her allowing her to be the first women's United States champion, that brings value. And her beating Bailey, that makes it even more important.
All right, that's where we at.
But we're both saying
I'm gonna skip the whole car interview between Michael Cole and Kevin Owens. Nothing really important was said there.
Nothing.
But before we get to the main event, my partner brought up a thing that's like we in right now. We are in a transfer portal period in the WWE. Meaning superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, they all can talk their way to transfer to different brands and all this stuff. Mainly because in less than a month, Monday Night Raw is going to be on Netflix. So they're making moves to get a certain group of people on Raw to be the Raw roster. Even though during the every bit now you can think of is going to be on that show, including that guy right there that he's representing. So we got all that going on. So that's why we end up seeing Gunther talking to Nick Aldis on SmackDown. onto the liking to Carmelo Hayes. Now Carmelo Hayes has a matchup against a new super. They say new superstar, but do they mean actually new superstar or do they mean new to SmackDown? That's the question.
Oh, I have an answer.
Oh boy, what's the answer?
Cero Medio.
If he shows up this week, if Penta shows up, and they're gonna give him a different name, probably knowing WWE.
Nah, they're not gonna give him a different name.
They're not. If Penta shows up, man, on SmackDown, nice knowing you, Carmelo. Nice knowing you. That's what I'm gonna say. But Chad Gable, yeah, Chad Gable shows up on SmackDown, having a good conversation with Cody Rhodes. Not really. They get into a match. Cody Rhodes defeats Chad Gable. Kevin Owens shows up to attack Cody Rhodes. They get into a brawl. Per usual, SmackDown ends. Anything from SmackDown?
The only thing I'll say is the this new transfer portal type thing. I would rather see this than a draft. I really would, because you could do this multiple times a year. You want to freshen things up a little bit, and you don't have to dedicate a show to it. And I don't think Netflix is going to be as open to allowing everybody to be in a pool and then, being repicked. I think they're going to be more like, nah, we're keeping certain people. Now, if you want to move a couple of people on the lower card around, cool. But we're not doing this whole redrafting thing every year because we're paying you a lot of money and we want to have certain people there.
Well, you better get that birth ring fixed first. And then we had a PLE on Saturday while the conference championship of the Big Ten and the ACC was going on. NXT Deadline. 5 matches on the card. 2 Iron Survivor matches. 1 men, 1 women. We had an underground match to go on with this. And we had 2 title matches on this card. The men Iron Survivor Challenge kicked off, and Mr. Eddie, who had a confrontation with Ava 2 weeks ago,
Eddie Thorpe, yep.
It was found laid out this past Tuesday on NXT. As NXT went off the air. We don't know who laid him out. We still don't know who laid him out. But Ava said before the show, she found her 5th man. So we had Javon Evans starting off against Wesley. Then Nathan Frazier came out. Then All Ego came out. But the question was, who was that 5th guy? Who was it?
The Ruler.
All I'm gonna say is once that match came out, I said, yep, this match is over. This match is done. This match is over. The 5th guy to replace Eddie Thorpe, Obi Finney was in this match. Now I give Shawn Michaels credit. He made that a fun Iron Survivor match to watch. Everybody got to do their stuff. Everybody got a pinfall. Closing down the minutes and the seconds. Everybody at 1. And then Obi Finney decides to double choke slam Wesley and Nathan Frazier, pinning them both at the same time. Javon Evans got a quick one. He's one away from tying it. He's almost there. He hit the move. Clock runs out. Meanwhile, all Ego stuck in the penalty box looking stupid. So Obi Finney, and I put this in the chat, and I'm gonna say it right here. What we have said a while back. We're talking when Obi Finney was North American champion, Trick Williams, and the whoop that trick era was in place. The first go around. We sat there as a group and it was like Obi Finney could be the one to dethrone Trick Williams. Obafemi is the next man up for the NXT Championship. Before we talk, let's talk on the match, not about what's next. We're on the match, sir.
Wesley came out looking weaker. Everyone
He came out
else
with a
came
haircut.
out looking stronger by the time the match was over. Fun match, but once the ruler came out, we already knew what it was.
That's how we kicked off the show. Cole Johnson cover your ears because the next match on the card was the Underground. Miss Jada Parker going against Lola Vice. It's only a few ways to win this match. Knockout, TKO. This is a pretty lengthy match. Very lengthy match, I must say. We got the whole hand hurting part of it from Lola Vice. We got the streets out of Miss Parker because she was grabbing all types of weapons from under the freaking ring, including the brick that helped her win the last match. But at the end of the day, sorry, Cole Johnson, Lola Vice put Jada Parker to sleep. Anything from your first of two cake matches?
All I want to say is cakes were on display. Cakes were bouncing, frosted, wonderful, aesthetically pleasing, but very violent match. I liked it.
Now, if y'all didn't know, Nathan Fraser pulled double duty because he had to defend his tag team championship along with Axiom against the No Quarter Catch crew. Why they name got to be so freaking long?
The Stooges.
Why is they name so freaking long? That name don't need to be that long.
They call them the NQCC.
I don't even want to say that, to be honest. Anyway, Nathan Fraser, tape ribs and everything from what he had to go through in the Iron Survivor Challenge. I'm just going to say this. Cole, you can say whatever you want. It amazes me with everything that happens with Team Axiom and Nathan Fraser, the miscommunications, the one guy want to do heroic stuff, and the other guy trying to talk sense about tag teams and vice versa and all. These two still win. Don't take this the wrong way, but only for this year, 2024. Okay, for only 2024. Nathan Fraser and Axiom are like the Kansas City Chiefs. Every time you think it is done, it's over with, they still come out on top.
But they lose and get them back though.
They did lose and get them back, but I'm like, I could have sworn you. I'm like, okay, yeah, this new tag team, they finna win this. This is done. And Axiom kicks out.
I know the No Quarter Catch crew lackeys weren't gonna win.
I'm saying, but how the match played out, you was like, they just can't get on the same page. Yeah, go ahead, take advantage of this. No, kick out. Like, how do they just keep winning? But shout out to them, still tag team champions. Trick Williams defending the NXT Championship against Wedge Hollins. I mean, we didn't see Rich Hollins being a major threat to dethroning Trick Williams at this stage of the title ring. It is something new, so we're not going to be too bad about it. It is something new, something different. Rich Hollins is the one that destroyed Chase U, so he earned his opportunity. He earned it. But hey, I don't know why you're looking like that. You actually thanked him for destroying Chase U, by the way. Probably the only time he's going to thank Rich Hollins in it for anything.
He's the reason why New Day broke up too, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to do that long story and telling you, it was Rich Holland that was the reason why Big E broke his neck. If you really think about it, it was an accident. It wasn't planned, but accidents happen. So Trick Williams retains the title. Now the complete manifestation is here, sir. Trick Williams will have to see Obi Femi as his next challenger.
So can I say one thing about that match real quick?
Go ahead.
The loser of that match is going to the main roster.
I want to know when this match is going to take place. That's the first question.
The loser is going to the main roster.
And that will actually complete the manifestation of the Monarchs of Wrestling Facebook Messenger group. And then finally, as we get ready to close to catch Monday Night Raw, the women's Iron Survivor match. Julia against St. Clair, which those two that started the match. Against Zarya, who actually came out third. Against, I'm missing somebody. Stephanie came out last. Who am I missing? Oh, Sol Ruco. Sorry, Marcus teased me. He teased me a lot. And with this match, he teased the hell out of me. Because every time Julia and Stephanie had that stat, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. Let's get this pop. And every time they was going to get ready to get it popping, somebody broke it up. I'm like, come on. And you can feel the fans was waiting for it too. Yeah, let's let Julia and Stephanie throw some bows. Let's let them go at it. Let's go. But it was interrupted every time. Move of the night. So Ruko. A double snow snatcher. Even though she couldn't pay neither one of them when neither one because they both rolled out the ring. Smart asses. But double soul snatcher, and St. Clair is the NXT Chelsea Green. That's the best way I can put it. She got put in the penalty box. As soon as she came out, she caught a snow snatcher and had to go right back. That's a Chelsea Green type booking right there. But at the end, I got what I wanted, surprisingly. Julia Roxanne Perez round 2, sir.
Can't be upset. So good people.
I'm looking forward to winning them when that match is.
So good people. We're going to hit some of the comments from the fan real quick. And then we're going to be done for the week. So you catch Raw. You catch the first couple of minutes while you listen. It'll be all right. All right. So Cole says they should have Owens win and get the WWE Undisputed title and have Rose regain it at Royal Rumble. I don't see that happening at Saturday night's main event. Exactly. Cody's got to win. Cody Rhodes has to win at all the first shows. It's in his new contract. All right. Yolanda says we're getting a Seth turn. Definitely agree with that. Yolanda also says Drew, KO, and Seth teaming up to take out the Bloodline with Black Vests.
I don't think Drew cares about the Bloodline. I think he won't see him Punk still.
It still ties in. Well, he's had a problem with the Bloodline from the beginning, so it's long-term storytelling, actually. That's why he had to beef with Jey Uso, because he was part of the Bloodline and what the Bloodline did to him. So he does have a problem with the Bloodline, too. Unless they're going to block that out, AEW style. Damien says, calling it now Dakota versus Raquel for the IC title.
I'm trying to remember if Raquel's in it. She probably
I don't
is.
think Raquel's even in that tournament.
I'm trying to remember if Raquel even in the tournament.
I don't think she is. I don't know how that's going to happen. But Cole says, leader, yes, Finn Balor is the one. Till Dirty Dimes kicks him out. Damien said, I was expecting a breakup, not like that, though. Cole says, Finn Balor is the leader of the Judgment Day and is doing it passive-aggressively. Passive-aggressive. I love that.
That's what he's doing. If everybody listens to Finn, Judgment Day wins.
Yep. But the Judgment Day has no leaders. Cole says the New Day segment was the best part of the week, wrestling-wise. Yeah, it was.
The most hurtful if you ask social media.
It was the best, though. Woods and Kofi are busters for crapping on Big E. However, Woods and Kofi did speak truth. They was ice cold, though. Sometimes you got to be cold as ice. Cold with the ice cubes. 5. Oh, excuse me. 5 ice cubes. Not just ice cubes. 5 ice cubes in a row. That's cold as ice. Cole also says, I actually love the new direction Woods and Kofi are taking. They need to separate Big E from the New Day anyway. Agreed. Then he says, whoop that trick, a part of the New Day? Nah. Yeah. I wasn't referring to whoop that trick, sir.
You weren't referring to Trick.
No, I don't think Trick's coming up yet because I think they need him to carry NXT for a while longer. But who I do think is coming up is the Ruler, who would fit perfect with the new heel New Day. Obafemi. All right, Cole also says Drew McIntyre's return was great, but it got overshadowed by that beautiful New Day angle. It wouldn't have got overshadowed if he had cost the OG bloodline the night before, would it? Yolanda said I said that in the comments.
Yeah, she did say Drew McIntyre was going to return.
Yes. Owens, McIntyre, and Rollins can call themselves the Petty Brothers. Or the New Shield.
That is pretty much all about pettiness. It's pretty much what it is.
The shield of pettiness. All right. Damien says, hopefully Jimmy stays out of trouble while being out this time. Laugh out loud. I put you on that. He also says DIY did it. Yolanda does. And DIY did do it. Damien says, I think it was Candice LeRae because if you think about it, she didn't show up on the Smackdown until after DIY won the titles. If Candice LeRae took out the New Day.
The Street Profits. And Candice LeRae did not take out the Street Profits.
If Candice LeRae took out, I was just thinking about the New Day, sorry. If Candice LeRae took out the Street Profits, she really is a pixie. She's some kind of magical creature. Have you seen Candice LeRae? There's no way she took out the New Day, even if their backs was turned. Not both of them. Damien says, Michin and Bayley go to the finals, but Tiffany cashes in and takes the title. Damien, you book matches like you work for AEW.
If that's the case, I'd rather have her just lose. Jeez.
Electra Lopez, playmaker Cole says.
I said her.
I'm just telling you what the man said in the comments. Damien says the United States title needs a serious champ. If we want to make it important, Chelsea Green gimmick is way too goofy. Yeah, she shouldn't even be in the finals. She shouldn't even be part of it. Yolanda says, yes. So Damien, again, not paying attention, says, I like that they moved the draft early in this year instead of after men still think the draft is done, though. They're not doing a draft.
Transfer portal.
Yes. Yolanda says both of the Lucha Brothers are together. Not right now, Yolanda, because one was out with injury and owes Tornado Con more time. Tornado Powder Con more time. And he's got to do his time before his contract's over. So they're not together right now, but they will be once one of their contract is finished for AEW. Those months were added, which I don't blame Tony Khan. Like, because at the end of the day, I know you're going to my competition. I'm going to stall it as long as I can. I don't blame him. And then Damien says, Penta doing shows with AAA till Phoenix is free. I doubt he'll show up. We don't need. You know what? Cole says the next NXT champion, Obafemi. I want to go back to Damian right quick, and I just want to say this. Right now, he can do a couple of one shots with WWE signed, and they allow their guys sometimes to go out and do other stuff, especially like with AAA and stuff, because it doesn't directly affect them until they really have a story for him. But him being the guy to show up and beat Carmelo Hayes, that would be wonderful. And then he can just do his thing and then, show back up in January. Once they need star power, when guys like Roman Reigns are going to Raw on Netflix. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. In the words of Kurt Angle, it's true. It's true. It's darn true. Any last words, Playmaker, before we exit up out of here? Stage left, even for the
Saturday, the main event this Saturday, 8 p.m. NBC Peacock.
You're gonna get probably, depending on how they want to do it, maybe a couple more matches. Probably get a tag team match, DIY against the Street Profits, and they may make they're not gonna make the tag team champions fight because he already got a fight. And we'll see what the other match is. I'm not messing with Damien's last comment. Make sure you tell 4 people who you believe or think are your friends, or they pretend to be your friends, and 4 people who may not like you. Because just because they may or may not like you, I guarantee they will like us. Switching it up, it's the holiday season, y'all. A lot of people suffer from depression. A lot of people missing brothers, children, siblings, parents, people who raised them, people that are very close to them, and, spouses, all kinds of things. So if you know people who are going through it, people who, have a hard time during the season, I would implore you, reach out to them, check on them, call them every couple of days. The truth of the matter is, I think I can speak for everybody when I say I'd much rather call you and talk to you for 10 or 15 minutes than have to put on a black suit or dress and come say a final goodbye earlier than it needs to be. So spend the time. You don't know how much that can mean to an individual person. Just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it. And with that being said, another episode of the Monarchs of Wrestling has completed. We'll be back next week. Make sure you share this out, y'all, so we can get as many people as possible to hear our blasphemous takes on professional wrestling. Are they blasphemous? Absolutely. You know why? Because you love it, and we love it. And we out.